My name is Pearson. I write poetry. This is a poem, Gilmore Girls Season 4, Episode 20. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is another poem. This poem is Tony Hawk did a 900, but I did a 420. Thanks. I have more, don't worry. That's the whole poem. Thanks. So I have longer poems too sometimes. So I write poems. This is a book that just came out like 2 months ago. It's called Ant. It's by me. I wrote most of it, all of it. So yeah. This is a poem. Minimum wage is more lucrative than the arts. Whatever. Tell your boss you're too stoned to come to work and mean it. That was it. Yeah. So I'm on tour right now from Philadelphia. So, which is kind of far away, but not as far as some places. This is a poem. My glass is broke, so am I. Thanks. Sick. I'm gonna read some longer ones. This one's real sad. Are you ready? You are. You're here, so y'all signed up for this shit. I'm sorry. I wish you had other stuff. Okay. I'm a bright-eyed song waiting to happen. I've been attempting to time travel, but Xanax only skips forward one day, and I'm always still a piece of shit when I wake up. How do I kill myself without my mom being sad? The stupid people who leave stupid replies to stupid CNN tweets have more followers than me. I can't stop thinking about that body that I saw at the bottom of the Ash Avenue parking garage and how 5 stories doesn't seem that far down. I'm a stupid cat who keeps landing on their stupid feet. I'm eternally Ouija boarding in my high school parking lot. I can't stop masturbating and playing Civ 5. I don't know if I'll make rent next month. Instead of finding a job, I keep getting stoned and rearranging the living room. Thanks. And then this is a poem. A dream. I noticed actually on this tour that I start almost every single one of my poems with this is a poem because I kind of got to remind myself because I'm like, shit, what am I doing with my life? Really out here. Actually, one of my poems that I'm going to read is, I'm doing this because I don't know what else to do. So, let's just get that one out of the way real quick. Wow. I had a set list written up at one point, and then I had to reset my phone because Verizon told me to. And then it turned out that it was my phone charger that was broken, not my phone. So, I don't have a set list anymore. This poem is really long. It's kind of long. It's called Circa 2002 when Priuses were still sedans and not hatchbacks. Even with my body in the trunk of your car, you will still get 50 miles to the gallon. Even with my body in the trunk of your car, the satanic Starbucks will always be the one on the corner of 5th and Mill, and we always held hands walking by it once. And that's where the man who was clearly on heroin called us punks and screamed Misfits lyrics in our faces. And you walked away, but I stayed because his voice felt so much like being put in the trunk of a car. But in Pennsylvania, circa 2002, when Priuses were still sedans and not hatchbacks, I tried to choke myself with my mother's necklace, and I accidentally broke it when I tightened it around my neck. And that night we went to the non-satanic Starbucks in Queensgate Village, 3,000 miles away from the satanic Starbucks, which was 2 blocks away from where that woman called us punks and rapped over a poorly tuned violin that she didn't know how to play. And neither of us laughed, but we felt uncomfortable. And that night, 3,000 miles away from the satanic Starbucks, my mom swung a hammer at her temple while screaming that she just wanted it to be over. And I stood on the edge of the carpeted living room and tiled kitchen and watched her swing the hammer and did nothing to stop it because I wanted it to be over too, I think. And when she passed out in the kitchen, drunk and heating up expletives, I stole the hammer and hid it in my room, which was 3,000 miles away from your room, which was 1.5 miles away from the satanic Starbucks, where you told me in your room, not the Starbucks, that you cut yourself because of something that I did. That you were sad and you just wanted it to end. And I wanted it to end too, I think. And even with your body, and my mom's body, and all the things I should have prevented in the trunk of my bike, I still bike faster than everyone I know. Thanks. And then... I usually pace around. I'm trying to stay in one spot because the video... I also am trying to stay in one spot because I got this big hole in my butt that's just getting bigger. Right here. Not my regular. Okay. Well, we can talk about that later. Hit me up. I've been tweeting a lot about begging as a concept lately, but also as like, you know, what I aspire to. Follow me on Twitter @smallpuddle. Thanks. Chuck E. Cheese is cool because it's like Ratatouille with skee ball. I've been meditating a lot lately, by which I mean I deleted my Twitter 6 hours ago. This poem is 3 pages, and I keep saying it's in size 52 font. I made that shit up. I have no idea, but I've said that at my last like 6 readings. I think it might be like 30 something maybe. I might be making that up too. I am drifting through life, laughing weakly when it is my turn to speak in conversations. Woo! I already got that one. Cool. I'm gonna read like a couple more. Nice. I usually say that to kill time so that I can find other poems to read. So you're just getting all the. I'm like towards the end of the end of what I'm doing, shout out because it's been rough. It's been beautiful. This is the greatest experience of my life. I'm sorry. Shout out. Cool.
Yeah.
I rely on codependent relationships to survive because I don't know how to maintain a relationship where I can't fetishize the future. None of my friends talk to me every day, so I convince myself that they hate me, or I get sad and stop texting them, and they stop texting me, and I isolate myself from everything but love, which I do recklessly and maliciously. This is a love poem for you. It is someday, I am holding you somewhere, that is the whole dream. And then, this is one. Now he's licking me with his beam out. That one's actually like way sadder than I feel like. Okay, so I'm gonna read a long one, and then I'm gonna read 2 short ones, and I'm probably making that up too, but we'll see. I like to just say numbers. Like, I'm just gonna read this many more and then just fuck everyone up and read like for the rest of my life. So, until I die, right here.
Filibuster is ready.
Filibuster is fucking. No more poetry is going past me.
Yeah.
I would love to say that, but Ali DeFeo is next, and they're like my inspiration in life, so I can't do that. This poem is long as shit, and it's very small font, so if I mess up, it sucks. It's called "Most of my depression stems from the fact that I struggle to recognize my accomplishments as important because I did not profit from them." An example. I stare intently at the register as a cashier rings up my groceries. 2 cans of black beans, a loaf of bread, peanut butter, and 2 boxes of blueberries. The total is $17. I quickly calculate to make sure that I will have enough money to pay rent if I buy this food. I realize that it doesn't matter because I ran out of food, so I pay, I go outside, I sling my backpack off, I take my keys out of my backpack, I unlock my bike, try to fit all of my food into my backpack, realize that the bread is going to get squished no matter what I do, and put my bike lock on my handlebars. As I reach up to fix my glasses, my left lens pops out. My glasses have been broken for months, and I do not have the money to fix them. The anxiety kicks in. The thoughts of not being able to pay rent, the reminder that I still can't find a job, the physical weight of having dropped out of college sets in. The monthly loan payments, the cost of food, and my mother telling me weekly that it's time to settle down and figure out what I want to do with my life. I forget that I've been to every single American city that was on my bucket list to visit. I forget that I've toured with a band and been published and booked house shows and taken selfies with 50 plus faves on Twitter, actually now 100 plus, so not to brag, you know. I forget about the fact that I made a bucket list when I was 15 and crossed off most of it by the time I was 20. I forget that I'm doing things that I've wanted to do my whole life. I forget that I've traveled more than anyone in my family, which really means that I left my hometown. I forget that I have amazing friends and I'm talented and that I'm a good person. If I had stayed in college like my mother told me, I would be graduating next year. I would be able to find a good paying job and I could afford to buy a car and non-essential groceries. When I was 16, I took a psychology class at York College. I had 100% in that class until I was hospitalized for weeks for an attempted suicide. My hands shake as I try to put the lens back in my glasses. I'm hungry. There are people surrounding me, so I'm not crying. Think about killing myself. I considered seeing a therapist, but I know that I can't afford the $20 copay. Even if therapists only make $20 an hour, that's $800 a week, which is more than I make in a month. If I had stayed in school, I could have become a therapist or a teacher or just become something more than a fumbling broke mess. If I had stayed in school, I would not have been to 21 states last year. I would not have moved to Arizona. I would not have met you, but still, I need to eat. Thanks. And then I just realized I had one on my phone that I was going to read. Okay, I'm just going to stop. And just pull this up. Wow, super lit. So I run a lit journal. It's called Spy Kids Review. We had an issue a while ago. We have another one coming out soon. Sick. So this is a poem. When I reset my phone, I lost like 50 poems. So I've just been writing random ones. So I don't know if this is good. I haven't read it since I finished it, but I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna read. Okay. So yeah, I don't know how long I've been up here. I always get into this weird time warp where nothing exists, and it could either be 10 minutes or it could have been 4 hours. So this is a poem that I wrote on a Greyhound from Denver to Phoenix. Fuck. Holy fucking shit, it is so fucking cold. Jesus Christ, why is it so cold? My vent isn't even open. No one around me has their vent open. Who the fuck has their vent open? Wow. These are some big ass mountains. I want to build a house with you on the nose of the mountain. I want to boop the earth for eternity. I want you to boop me in our poorly built house. I want you to stick your finger in my butt because you are beautiful and we bought soap the last time we went grocery shopping. I'm nauseous. I can't appreciate anything without romanticizing it. I want to live inside every beautiful thing. Sometimes things are horrible and out of your control, but it has nothing to do with you. Where the trees end but the mountain continues has nothing to do with this. Erin wrote 420 I love you on a page of her book that says, no one is blaming you, no one is blaming you. I don't know how I caused the tree line. I don't know why it is too cold up there, or too hard, or why you tried to kill yourself while I was in your apartment. Except that I think you wanted me to wake up. Except that I think that I'm constantly restricting others' growth to focus on my own. Sometimes I just want to boop the earth. Sometimes I want the earth to sneeze. I'm not looking for permanence, but I'm looking for comfort, and those two things are often misconstrued. And I'm thinking about killing myself. And I'm thinking about becoming a bus driver. I'm dizzying myself. I'm dancing in the land between growth and not growth. I love you in the place you remind me. I love you in the place that I am leaving. I think about running away even when I've just run away. I love these big ass mountains. I will live for these big ass mountains. I will boop everything. Everything deserves to be booped. Thanks. And then this is more. This is a poem I wrote while I was trying to sleep on the floor of the Las Vegas Greyhound station in between Denver and Phoenix. Fuck, it is so fucking cold. Thanks. And then, this is my last one, for real this time. I might have said, I don't even know. Woo! Yeah, I need to stop. Okay. This is actually a two-part poem, but it's kind of like not. I guess it's technically two separate poems, but I view it as the same poem in my head because I usually write two poems and then I'll just like mush them and then make one poem, and that's like my creative process. But this one, I just did two separate ones because I did. Today I tweeted about crying, but I did not cry. I think I'm sorry, but I also think that I'm gonna cry sometimes and then I don't end up crying. You said instead of continuing to be shitty, just figure out what's wrong and work on it, dude. The dentist told me I had 4 cavities. I thought I wanted to quit smoking, but I just don't want it to cost money. The dentist said, it's nice to meet you. I said, it's nice to meet you too, but I think one of us was lying. And this is the second one. One time when we were having sex, you slapped me so hard that my gauges flew out. I bought a new t-shirt online yesterday and it gets here tomorrow, but I can't wear it because I did the thing again. Would you still love me if you knew that I was 20 and I still do the thing? Do you love me? Sorry, I'm drunk right now and I'm just rambling. Sorry, I'm not drunk, I'm high, but that felt too predictable to say. The dentist told me I had 4 cavities. The dentist told me it was nice to meet me. I said it was nice to meet them too. I walked into the recycling bin while writing this. It feels like the only honest thing I've ever done. Woo! I usually do really dramatic exits. So that was weird for me, but so I also run a publishing house. It's called Too Fast, Too House. Thanks. It's my favorite thing. Yeah, and our first book that came out was I Love You, Here's a Gigantic Worm, and it is by the next poet, Ali Simone DeFeo.